Thank you for downloading the Flixters podcast. On this week's episode,
so it's been announced that Christian Bale is going to be playing a villain. He's going to be playing a character called Gore, the God Butcher. Devaldo, I mean, what the hell is a Gore and what's a bloody God Butcher?
And you know what? He would do great as the physical manifestation of the character because he looks really, he was also in House of Cards. He played the president, the Russian president. He's really good. So.
Big news here is Jonathan Majors. He is going to be playing
the Krasinskis. They're not tipped to play Reed Richards and Sue Storm. I'm not sure who will play the rest, but you know what? This is something they need to handle with care because
she's kind of like this mysterious character. She's out there in the kind of like the woods somewhere, and she's trying to get some information. So I think we're back, Devaldo. You and I, we're both in the hot seat once again. This is episode 120, Devaldo, 120. Listen, man, look, you know what? Forget all this. We've got a ram-packed show because there's so much Marvel and Disney and Star Wars and all this stuff that I want to get through, and I want to pick your brains. Before we do any of all that stuff, we've got some shout outs. So Devaldo, please dish them out.
Yes, like you said, we've got a lot of news today. So we're gonna whiz through everything else. The news is going to be the focus of the day. But yeah, first shout out goes to Zakharov. Zakharov's a big listener of the show. I said I'll give him a shout out. He hit us up on Instagram twice this week. The first time he hit us up, I think it was about what was it about? It was about first of all, the Marvel news that's come out, and he said that he's all on it and he can't wait for Marvel to release all the all the films and TV shows so he can download them and have them at home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he also was messaging us about other films as well, and he also mentioned that you know what? He's always telling me about horror films. There's a list of he loves his horror. So Zakharov, thank you for shouting us out for the horror films. I know you're in the Marvel. When the Marvel comes out, we're gonna get you on the show one of these days. Definitely.
You're gonna be on it, man.
Zakharov, be ready for that. Second shout out goes to Elaine on Twitter.
Whoa.
Twitter. I know we don't often get a lot of love from Twitter, but this time we got some love from Twitter, and this was about film scores actually. So she shared with us a page and also an event about film scores and a place where we can go and listen to one of the big film stores from John Williams.
Love it.
We got one of our new favourites, the person that done Black Panther and also is doing The Mandalorian. Ludwig Göransson, yep, really, really, really good composer.
That theme tune,
Hans Zimmer, all of them. But yeah, I know you love the Mandalorian theme tune. Don't you?
Oh man, please.
Are you like me? When it finishes, you let it ride out.
I just let it ride out, and you know that.
Yeah, you get animation. You get all the animation
the drum beat, everything, man. It all just fits in, man. Just lovingly crafted those episodes. So thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Zakharov. We hope you enjoy the show. We hope you keep listening. And yes, of course, any links and stuff that you want us to listen to or watch and stuff like that, we are more than willing to kind of check those out. So listen, we said that we want to get into movie news and speak about a lot of interesting things. But before we get into the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff, let's just speak about some of the other bits and pieces that we've been keeping an eye on. And Devaldo, Issa Rae, she is this I don't know, you've known her work through, I think it was like a TV show that you saw her in, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Insecure.
I saw her in this movie with he's an Eternal.
Nanji Mangalangam or something.
That's it.
I probably just ruined his name, but
exactly. We always ruin the names. But yeah, I think she's in this movie called Lovebirds, and I think maybe she co-wrote it or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's kind of like a fun little romantic movie. But yeah, Issa Rae, she's pretty big now, right?
Yeah, she's big news. She writes, she produces, she directs. She's like all up in it. So. They're in a new, or she's working with actually the showrunner of Succession, which is a big Showtime TV show that's come on, and that's been running for about 3 seasons now. Really, really good show. It kind of reflects almost a bit like who's the head of who was the head of Fox then? Like, head of the big news network, the big mogul. What
Murdoch.
was his name? Murdoch. Yeah. So the family kind of resembles maybe that kind of hierarchy where you got a
Right.
big, big daddy, sort of big boss man, and then all his family are trying to get onto the top, sort of thing. So yeah, she's working with them, the showrunners of that show, for a new show called Nice White Parents. So yeah, Issa Rae shows are always quite, they
Edgy.
make a big play on sort of edgy social commentary, what's happening in today
Love
and
it.
stuff like that. And you kind of see where it's going. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I know it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure where how it's going to sort of be presented. But yeah, you see from the title, Nice White Parents. It's going to be funny, man. She's going to be all up in like maybe the like white parents and see how their life is and stuff
Yeah.
compared to her upbringing.
That'd
Who
be
knows?
good.
But it's going to be good. Yeah,
It's going to be good.
So
I love
looking
those
forward to
little
that one in
takes.
2021.
Yeah, different takes on kind of like the tropes that we're kind of like used to. All right, here's something new. Buzz Lightyear. I mean, fans of Toy Story, apparently they're losing their shit because Tim Allen, who was the voice of Buzz Lightyear in the whole kind of Toy Story franchise, he's not doing the voice anymore. And we've got Captain America, aka Chris Evans. He's going to be voicing Buzz Lightyear. So apparently Disney and Pixar, they're going to be doing a new spin-off. Well, it's actually a prequel to the whole Toy Story franchise. And it's going to be called Lightyear. And it's just basically the whole kind of story of how Buzz Lightyear, came to be, and like, what was he doing before Toy Story. But the big news is that Chris Evans, which, you know what, I mean, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, he's a big star, and like, he's obviously worked in the MCU, so he's no stranger to kind of, those guys over there. But I mean, people getting upset over it. I don't know why.
Chris
Why
Evans, yeah?
Chris Evans? Yeah, but why are people getting upset?
I think people are quite precious about, those characters, but maybe they don't think Chris Evans can do it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I reckon he did. I reckon he can do it. So yeah, so that's kind of like a bit of a tidbit of information over there. All right, okay. Now let's speak about this. I thought this was really interesting. Doing a bit of news, reading up on this. Lord of the Rings. Now, that has been off our screens for years and years and years and years, but obviously you can catch reruns of it on TV. They were showing Lord of the Rings just the other day on TV over here, and it's one of those movies that when it's on, you just start watching it and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I remember that scene, and this scene is great, oh, and I can't wait for this next scene that's coming. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is going to be coming to Amazon Prime. And check this out, they just announced new cast members. So I'm just going to reel these off. So Lenny Henry is going to be joining the cast.
What?
Yeah, Lenny Henry. This is great.
No.
Lenny
No.
Henry. This is like,
Are you serious?
Yeah, and people in America, if you don't know, Lenny Henry is just like, he's like an institution in the UK, man. This guy is a comedian. He's just been around for a really long time, and like, a lot of people don't think he's funny, but I remember him from the Lenny Henry show, which is like from the late 80s. And man, the guy was like super, super funny. So Lenny Henry, Augustus Prue, I don't know who that is, Peter Mullen, Cynthia Adai Robinson, Benjamin Walker, there's Peter Tate, Simon Merrills, who was in Spartacus, there's Maxim Baldry, Ian Blackburn, Kip Chapman, Anthony Crum. I mean, I don't know who these people are. I could be calling out anyone's name over here at the moment. Deval's going to be in it, who knows. But the thing is, right, is Amazon are obviously working on this. This has been, been in pre-production and production for quite a while now. But I think it's quite exciting that we're going to see Lord of the Rings again.
Yeah. A few of the people you mentioned you're right, they used to be in Spartacus. Even Cynthia Adai, she used to be Spartacus. She used to be Navia. Remember Crixus's lady?
Yes.
And then you've got another guy that's in there as well. Simon Merrills, you mentioned. He was in Spartacus. I can't remember who his character was. I think he was Crassus.
Oh,
yeah, he
man.
was a deep character. But maybe that means maybe they're filming in Australia or something like that. I don't know.
Exactly. And the thing is, right, we haven't even seen, like, the first season hasn't even, like, obviously been, it's not done yet. And Amazon, they've already renewed it for a second season.
Oh my gosh. Benjen Stark is going to be in it as well. Oof.
Benjen Stark. My gosh. So, big news there. And, Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one. And here's something that I just want to kind of announce. And like Disney, over the last couple of days, they've announced so many TV shows, and we're going to get into it. But I just want to mention this Alien. Now, the Alien franchise has kind of been up in the air, up and down. There's been some great movies in there, and there's been some kind of like not so great ones. Alien 3. Covenant, people had a lot of issues with Prometheus, all that sort of stuff. And Disney, they just announced a couple of days ago that they are going to be working, or they're going to be dishing out a Alien TV show. Now, the difference here is that it's going to be based on planet Earth.
Hold on, say what? An Alien TV show?
Alien TV show based on planet Earth. It's going to be coming to the FX channel, which is owned by Disney. And Ridley Scott's going to be, he's going to be producing it. And the great thing here is it's going to be directed by Noah Hawley, who was behind Legion and behind Fargo. So, man, it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. No release date just yet, but they're working on it. And it's going to be hitting our screens probably 2022, I'd probably say. Maybe even at the end of 2021, most probably, maybe, hopefully.
Wow, that's decent, Some decent news there. Alien. Oof.
Yeah, and I like the whole idea, the fact that it's going to be like earthbound. So somehow the aliens, come to Earth. And that was that was the plot line of Alien 3. Remember, Ripley, she's in jail. She's in some sort of kind of like penitentiary or something. And then the alien is on Earth in this thing, and it starts kind of like devouring everyone. So yeah, it's kind of like that, but yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. All right, okay, Devaldo, that's all the preamble stuff out the way.
Okay.
Let's
now for
do
the meat.
this,
now
man.
For the meat and veg, yeah?
The meat and veg of movies. All right, okay, so folks, as you know, here on TheFlixters, we love talking about our Marvel news. And the last couple of days, it's just been a smorgasbord of information coming out of Marvel. They've announced stuff. They've kind of given us release dates, and we're going to go through these all now. So first up, let's do the Marvel news, and let's speak about the films specifically. So we know that Thor 4 is actually being made currently at the moment. It's somewhere in Australia or New Zealand. The guys are all doing pre-production or production, whatever. And I know Christian Bale recently just jetted in somewhere. And so it's been announced that Christian Bale is going to be playing a villain. He's going to be playing a character called Gore, the God Butcher. Devaldo, I mean, what the hell is a Gore and what's a bloody God Butcher? What's going on over here?
Gosh, it's a big character, Gore, the God Butcher. I mean, look at his name, yeah? He hasn't just got a name.
Gore.
He's got a description. He's got a statement behind his name. Man. Gore, the God Butcher.
I know.
Yeah, he comes from the comics, from the Thor comics, obviously, and he's. I think Jason Aaron is one of the creators behind Gore, who's done really a lot of good Thor comics. Some of it. Let's go through some of his abilities. Some of his abilities is he's mad strong.
Oh shit!
Let's just start there. He's mad strong, so he can probably beat up Thor. He's virtually like immortal. He can. I think he can change. He can change his shape or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah, some sort of change in shape. He can regenerate his injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, Gore the God Butcher. Yeah, from back in the day, he had a fight with both Thor and I think Odin as well. And I'm pretty sure he overcame both of them. He's so strong that he overcame both of them, and they had to sort of it's one of them ones where it's not as simple as just beating him. You have to kind of reason with him. You kind of have to you have to go around him another way. It's not just about simple strength that can get over characters like this. But he's from some sort of nameless planet where his mother and he also had children as well. They died, and he learned that the gods, the gods like Thor and those sorts of people, they existed and they didn't help his family. He vowed he'll kill them all. So he has like a very who can I describe? Who can I liken him to? There's some of those characters where they feel there's been an injustice done onto them, and they would do anything to just make
they're the crazy
make
ones.
that even. Exactly, yeah. So they're the ones that are driven on the next level. So he eventually finds Thor. he nearly kills him basically, and all these people. And oh my gosh, I think one of them gets their arm cut off. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. That happened a lot in in all the Marvel films. Actually, that was like a bit of a homage to Star Wars. You remember when in all the Phase 1, Phase 2, I think Phase 3 as well. Someone always lost an arm.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, long story short, Gore the God Butcher is a deep character. He's going to be showing up in for Thor, like you said, and who knows, he might not be dealt with in one movie. So Christian
Oh,
Bale to play him, you can just imagine he's going to do a good job on that one.
he's going to be great. So people can look forward to that in 20. The thing is, though, I know we're talking about this right now, but people can look forward to it in 2022. So we've got a long way yet, but it's just kind of whet our appetite because fans and, people like us, we're just kind of like really like, shit, who's going to play these characters and who's going to be the character? And, we can start doing the reading up on these characters right now. But the guy has got mad level powers. Go online, go read about him, Gore, the God Butcher. And it's like what you said, like he's got his name describes him, the God Butcher. It's like Ronan the Accuser, Kang the Conqueror. It's just like these names, man, they don't roll off the tongue, do they? It's like,
he's got a necro sword.
Oh, shit.
A necro sword. Think of who the gods are. Odin's a god in Norse mythology. So is Thor. If this guy's there to butcher people,
oh my
gosh.
gosh.
He's not gonna just can go and ask him, how much meat do you want? £20 money, £20 weight. Yes, he'll chop up Thor. So here you go. Make your curry goat or
Oh my
whatever.
gosh. Yeah, it's just so true, man. Oh my gosh. That is so funny.
That's big news. That is big news.
That is
coming out
big
in
news.
2020. Oh, I can't remember. Is it 2022? This one's
Yeah,
coming out?
2022, May 2022, we're going to be seeing that movie. So, exactly. So we'll keep you posted on that one. Okay, and we're not done there yet, folks. So just keep listening. So Peyton Reed, who was the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp, he's going to be back to be directing, check this out, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Now, I mean, what the hell is a Quantumania? It's just like the quantum realm. Are they kind of like, are they stuck in the quantum realm? Who knows? But the big news here is Jonathan Majors, who's this African-American actor who was in Lovecraft Country. He's in Lovecraft Country. He was in Into Five Bloods, Spike Lee's movies. A great actor. He is going to be playing, Devaldo, who is he going to be playing?
Kang the Conqueror.
And we've spoken about this guy on the character. Yeah, we've spoken about Kang on the show before, right?
Gangster character. If you want to see him in action, go and watch the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon. It ran for about 2 or 3 seasons between 2010, I think, to 2012 or 13. He is wicked in that cartoon. He's from the future. He's actually a descendant of Reed Richards from the future. Yeah, this guy's all about future, all about time travel. He's also there to defend his wife, who's affected by some sort of, time displacement or something, and he has to try and defend her. And that's where he mixes with the Avengers, and they have a lot of beef. But I can imagine going into the quantum realm, messing around with all that shit, like Tony Stark said in Endgame.
Yeah,
the future will fight back. The future will mess back. I reckon they've done something to mess up Kang's world and his wife and his people, and Kang is not happy. He's not one to be messed with. Trust me.
Shit. And like just this thing, like I'm on like a Wikipedia page and it says abilities, time travel, and then genius level intellect. Man, don't go messing around with a time traveler who's got genius level intellect, man. You know what this guy's capable of doing.
That's an understatement. He's from the future. He's a descendant of Reed Richards, who is among the most intelligent human beings on Earth. Yeah, Reed Richards is not a joke. So if he's a future descendant,
oh man, this is coming. This is bad. Yeah. So listen, folks, go check out. Like, obviously, read up on Kang the Conqueror, and obviously watch Jonathan Majors' stuff that he's in. He's a really great actor, so I know he's going to do really well. So let's move on to this now. John Watts. He is the director of Spider-Man: Homecoming, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and he's kind of like, he kind of brought this, Tom Holland on board, and obviously people love Tom Holland as Spider-Man right now. Now he's going to be the director. Disney have chosen him to be the director of Fantastic Four, and
Yep.
people have been teasing this. People have been saying, "Yeah, when are we going to see Fantastic Four?" Obviously, Fantastic Four, that whole IP was with Fox, and then obviously it went over to Disney, and now people are gagging. They were like, "Oh, listen, when are we going to get the when are we going to get the first family?" And now, yeah, it's going to happen, Devaldo. So this guy, John Watts, he's going to be directing it. Do we have any indication? Do we have any idea of kind of like plot details or who could be playing, like, for example, Reed Richards?
No, so far nothing has come out. I wouldn't be surprised though if the Krasinskis, if they're not tipped
Yes,
to play Reed Richards and Sue Storm. I'm not sure who will play the rest, but you know what? This is something they need to handle with care because this IP, the Fantastic Four, is a really precious one for people like Stan Lee. It was
yeah,
Marvel's first family. There was a film actually in 1994 which they made to actually hold on to the rights, I believe, and this film was actually never released. But if you see it, Fantastic
it's
Four
bad.
in 1994 is shit.
It's bad. I
It's
know.
bad. And then we had 2005, 2007. Then we had the one with Josh Trank in
Josh Trank.
2015.
Yeah.
But if this is done right, honestly, I mean, Fantastic Four, they're interdimensional. So I won't be surprised if they actually, rub shoulders with Kang the Conqueror, who, like I said, is a descendant of Reed Richards. It could go any which way with how they're looking to set this up. So either way, I'm mad happy that this has been confirmed. I've got trust they're going to pick the right people.
Yeah, man. They got. There's kind of like so much riding on these movies, and and obviously the Josh Trank people were really really upset about that movie, and like there were some individual bits in there which were okay. Like for example, Michael B. Jordan, I thought he was great in that one, but I mean it's just kind of the pieces didn't all fit, like so they have to go back and back to the drawing board and work on that.
Yeah.
I think that, it's going to be great. But yeah, John Watts, I mean, in good hands, Devaldo. I mean, think about it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home.
yeah. He's done well so far. So I've got no qualms at all. So yeah, keep
Okay.
keep it going.
Keep it going. All right. Okay. Next up, let's speak about Captain Marvel 2. Now, this is obviously another big product for Marvel, and they've confirmed that there is definitely going to be a Captain Marvel Part 2. Directed by, now check that out, this is pretty big news as well. The first Marvel movie to be directed by an African American. So this is directed by someone called Nia DaCosta.
One
And,
second, remember what's his name?
sorry, the
Black Panther,
first
female one. Yeah.
female. I correct myself. Thank you for pointing that out. The
De
first
nada.
female African American to direct a Marvel movie. And yeah, so Nia DaCosta, I think she's worked on Candyman before. I'm not kind of familiar with some of her work.
Yeah, one that hasn't
But
been released yet. She worked on that one. She directed it.
well, exactly. So yeah, so this is going to be really good. Also, we are going to see in this, we're going to see Ms. Marvel, and Disney Plus are already working on the Ms. Marvel TV show as well, right?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah,
So
that's
we're
looking
gonna,
good.
yeah. So that's going to link up. So obviously there is this connection between Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel, and also there's going to be a showing of Monica Rambeau is going to be in this as well. Now, just remind me again, Devaldo, because we did get to see a bit of Monica Rambeau, didn't we, in the first Captain Marvel?
Yeah, she was a young whippersnapper in the first one. She had a bit of a chat with Captain Marvel, saying how she wishes in the future she can fly and do all kinds of stuff like that. And it just goes. We knew that was a bit of a setup. Actually, I kind of knew that was
Yeah.
going to happen. But yeah, she's definitely going to be involved. She's also going to be involved in One Division, as we saw in the trailer.
Yes.
But just a quick mention on Nia DaCosta. She also directed some episodes of Top Boy.
Oh.
So she's really her stock is rising. Yeah, Captain Marvel 2 and even Miss Marvel, who's going to be played by Iman Vellani,
Yeah.
who's going to be, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Her inspiration is Captain Marvel, and that's how she got her name. So maybe in Captain Marvel 2, we'll see that take place. There's also some rumors, I don't know how true this is, but there's some rumors that Rogue may be a somewhat villain in
Oh.
Captain Marvel 2, because in the comics and in the cartoons,
They go
Captain
at it.
Marvel, yeah, she actually got her powers, although
Powers.
Rogue got her powers from Captain Marvel. That's how
Yeah.
she got her powers of flight and so on. And that's why that's what explains in the X-Men movies why Rogue couldn't fly or anything, because she hadn't, rubbed shoulders, pun intended, with Captain Marvel.
That is mad. I can't wait,
Yeah,
man. This is all these movies are going to be
yeah.
huge. They're big.
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait, man. I cannot flip and wait. All right, okay. So that's some of the film news that we're going to speak
Mm,
about. Now let's speak about the TV shows. And
mm,
boy,
mm, mm, mm,
gosh, man,
mm,
there's
mm.
just so much. First things first, let's just Hulk out a bit over here. Now, She-Hulk, we spoke about this probably about 3 or 4 episodes ago, and on the Flixters, we did say that there's an actor called Tatiana Maslany that there's rumors that she's going to be playing, She-Hulk, and she she basically confirmed it on Twitter or on Instagram just very recently, and Mark Ruffalo jumped on board and he's kind of like confirmed it as well. So yeah, so Tatiana Maslany, she is going to be playing She-Hulk. Jennifer Walters, who's the cousin of Bruce Banner, and the great news about this TV show is that Mark Ruffalo is going to co-star, or he's going to probably appear in a couple of episodes, and I think that's going to be great. But the villain, check this out, the villain
Mm.
harks back to the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008, Abomination, who was played by Tim Roth. So Tim Roth is going to be joining the cast as well, man. And this is great because it kind of links up back to that 2008 movie, and it's great because we're going to get to see Mark Ruffalo again as Incredible Hulk as well, and then it ties in with the backstory of how she gets the powers, right? Because Bruce Banner's got something to do with that, Deval.
Yeah, so the backstory is that well, one of them is that she had a car accident, I believe, Jennifer Walters, and she needed a blood transfusion, and the only person that matched her blood type and stuff like that was Bruce Banner, and we all know his blood is laced with all that gamma radiation and
Yep.
all that fun stuff. So that's how that's how she got her powers. Yeah, but with her,
Wow.
she can maintain her she can still maintain her sort of humanity and still have Hulk strength and stuff. So a bit like how Professor Hulk is, she's like that, but in the lawyer version.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
And do you
also a lawyer,
reckon?
isn't she? Yeah,
Yeah. And what about the choice of bringing back Abomination?
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're looking to keep the ties with the old Fox and whoever it was, Universal. All of these properties, they're not totally just cutting the connection. They're keeping it warm, which is cool. I'm pretty sure they'll make it work because the Abomination didn't die, did he?
No.
He didn't die. He just sort of got beat up and he was sort of tied on the roof, up on the roof, with Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it'll work out.
But the other guy, the other creepy guy. Do you remember there was another bit of Bruce's blood went into the
Mm,
that other scientist? I've forgotten his name, and he's got a really
yeah,
creepy face.
he's meant to be the leader. He's meant to be the
That's
leader. The
it.
leader's like a hulked out but super
Genius.
intelligent hulked out version of a scientist. And yeah, you're right. We saw his head bubbling, and in the comics, he's the leader. He has the Abomination. He has the Absorbing Man. He has all these other people that are trying to beat the Hulk. Basically, it's really interesting. In the cartoons, it's really really good. Really really good
Yeah.
battle.
Oh man, yeah, this is great. So yeah, folks, She-Hulk. This is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic, and I just can't wait again just to kind of see how these stories develop. So that's really good. Now let's speak about this next one. This is really interesting. This one is called Secret Invasion. Oh my gosh! And Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn, they are both going to be returning and reprising their roles as obviously Nick Fury and what was his name? He was the Skrull. He was the Skrull. What was his name
Oh,
though?
I remember Quatu or something. I don't know, some sort of alien name in it.
Yeah. So what can we make of this? Because there is a whole kind of comic book storyline with Secret Invasion.
Yeah, it's interesting because Secret Invasion is big in the comics. Like literally, that is big. That's when all the Skrulls like secretly infiltrated like Earth, leaders, and they systematically took down all the powers and literally took over. And it took a small band of people to try and fight them and get the powers back. But in the cartoons, there was actually maybe I think it was a double episode. It was really good. In the comics, it went for quite a while. Really, really popular. And it sounds like they're laying the groundwork for this, possibly in the TV show, which will obviously spill out into the movies. But who knows at what stage this secret invasion occurred? It could have occurred
Ah,
years ago. The people that we think are fan favorites could have been Skrulls. Who knows if Tony
Oh.
Stark was a Skrull? He died. Who knows if Black Widow was a Skrull? Maybe we'll get certain people back. I don't know. They shouldn't do that, but you never know.
Yeah, Talos. His name was Talos.
Talos, that's the one. Yeah, quite.
Quite what was that? That's like that sounds like the one from Total
Maybe the day
Recall.
the Earth stood still. The day the Earth stood still. I think.
That is Keanu Reeves. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so look, Nick Fury, he's going to be back, and obviously people are probably wondering, yeah, what's happened to Nick Fury? So yeah, we're definitely going to see him in there, and it's great the fact that he's going to be, lending his acting talents for the small screen. So that's great. And the one thing that you got to realize here, folks, is I think what they're planning to do is they want to weave these characters and stories and gel them into the kind of the film storylines, and that hasn't really been done, has it?
Not on this level. This is, I mean, the first few phases they linked really well with the movies and stuff. Now they're looking to do it on different platforms. I mean, this is a big project, and I'm glad that they've already had the experience of linking the movies so well, and now they've got the platform to do it. They've got the team to do it. They've got the actors and the crews and the stories. And now they've got the properties to do it as well. This is a big. This is big.
This
This is
is
big.
huge. Absolutely
big.
huge. And we listen, folks, we're not done yet. We still got loads more. So the next up is Disney. They announced another show called Ironheart. And this is a connection to Tony Stark because there's an actor called Dominique Thorne. I haven't seen, the things that she's in, but she plays a Marvel character called Riri Williams, who's this kind of like kid who's like super intelligent, who's like really, really clever with kind of like engineering. And she kind of does she get hold of Tony Stark's technology, or she kind of like adapts it and then she kind of she builds her own suit, Deval?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if she gets help, but she does create an advanced suit, very similar to Iron Man, pretty much an Iron Man suit. So I'm not sure if he's going to be. Well, obviously he's not around anymore, so I'm not sure if he directly helped her. But she's also a genius level girl, like Shuri, basically, and is able to do that as well. So it's going to be interesting. I can't really tell from her picture how old she is. So I'm not kind of sure what age they're going in at. And on her IMDb, she's been in a few things. She's been in If Beale Street Could Talk, and she's also going to be in the new film Judas, the Black Messiah, which is a big film coming out next
Ah,
year. So she's quite a newcomer. Only got a couple of credits on IMDb. So I don't know how old. I think she's quite young, but yeah, it looks like an interesting. Yeah, Riri Williams. She's gangster in the comics and stuff.
wow.
She is. It's like Shuri, but an Iron Woman
Okay.
version, I should say. Yeah.
Because I'm reading just like whilst you were just talking about that, over here it says at the end of Civil War, Tony Stark falls into a coma fighting Captain Marvel, and then Riri decides to continue his legacy as a hero. Obviously, that's obviously not how it's going to play out, but I mean, you get the kind of idea that she becomes kind of like a little hero because obviously she's got the whole tech and everything. So yeah, man, this is great. And that nicely kind of ties into this next TV show, which is called Armor Wars. And Don Cheadle is going to be back to play War Machine. And check this out. Tony Stark, he always had this fear, right? That what if his technology got into the wrong hands? So this TV show plays on that idea. And it's almost like as if, yeah, someone gets hold of Tony Stark's technology, and then War Machine has to basically go in and clear shit up and maybe have to kind of like, deal with the aftermath of that, right, Deval?
Yeah, it's going to be mad, I mean, I know in Iron Man, was it 1 or 2? Or maybe even 3. I know we had Justin Hammer, who was always
Yes.
trying to, get his
That was
weapons
funny.
sold. And he was, I liked him, I
I
liked
thought it
Justin
was
Hammer.
good, yeah,
He was
man.
funny.
What's his name?
Oh, shit, now I'm going to remember.
It was, yeah, Hammertech.
Yeah, it was Hamilton, but I can't remember his real name. He was also in Moon. Really
Yeah,
good
he
actor,
was,
actually.
yeah. He's a good
Yeah,
actor.
but yeah, so yeah, I think we had that in the past. So I think we're going to have similar sort of, situations like that. And what's his name? Don Cheadle's James Rhodes trying to mop up and deal with things at a more government level, perhaps, because
Right.
he's quite a government guy. He sticks to the rules, isn't he? He's a bit of a donut. Actually, I don't really
Yeah,
like
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That is true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
That,
we'll see how that. But yeah, interesting. I did not see that one coming. I
nah.
did not see Armor Wars coming.
Well, I
But
didn't see this next one. I didn't see this next one coming. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So this is something that's going to be directed by James Gunn. So he's going to be back to write and direct. There are no details on the plot and like whether or not I'm pretty sure the gang's going to obviously get back together. But I mean, what could this be? This is obviously a holiday special. We don't know what holiday this is for. Is this Christmas holiday? Is this for Thanksgiving holiday? We don't know. But is this something coming before Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or after Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
well, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, when's that? That's a 22 one, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
a 22. So yeah, I reckon this will be. But then again, also, is it going to be an animation or is it going to be live action? They said. I'm not too sure, but
I'm not too sure on that.
I'm not surprised. I reckon it will be a Christmas thing because they're usually or Thanksgiving or whatever around that time. Because recently, just like now, they brought out the Lego Star Wars holiday special. That was like kind of Thanksgiving or just before. In the past, they've brought out Star Wars, holiday celebrations and stuff. I think it will probably come out November of 2022 or something. I
Right.
don't know if it'll be a next year one, but if it's going to be next year, it's going to be an animation, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be interesting. Kind of bridge the gap between
yeah.
obviously what happened at the end of Infinity War and then the events of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So there might be this kind of little bridge. It's good that obviously James Gunn, they've announced that obviously James Gunn, we know that James Gunn was going to be back to direct the part 3 anyway, but this just kind of, just to tie us over, I think, just to kind of like to let people know, hey, look, we're not done with Guardians of the Galaxy. We're still going to be seeing them, and this is kind of like some sort of kind of linking thing between the next movie, so which is going to be great. And on that, they've also announced a I Am Groot TV show. So Disney Plus are going to be bringing this I Am Groot. So this is Baby Groot is to star in a series of shorts for obviously for Disney. And again, we don't know exactly what the plot details are, but this is Baby Groot. So this is probably before Guardians of the Galaxy. And, picking up, what was Baby Groot doing, when he was just like a little kid? Like, what was he doing? So this is kind of like a fun little, could be an anime. Is this an animation, I think, Deval? This one might be an animation for sure.
It could be, but I think I think they will probably get to the root of his upbringing.
Great. That's really, really good one, actually. That one nearly
But
went over my head.
did it? Well, you have to really branch out, Amar, and learn these things.
Shit. I need to take a leaf out of your book, man.
Ooh, there you go.
There you go. Boom, boom.
Stop barking on, man. The bark is worse than the bite.
Oh shit! Listen, you come for the Marvel news and you stay for the banter, folks. That's what I say. So listen, look. So those were the Marvel films and TV shows. Loads and loads and loads of information. And remember, over the next kind of like months, weeks, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, there's going to be more news that's going to be coming out, and we'll obviously dish that out, and we'll kind of let you know about all that. But now,
a couple more actually.
oh, sorry, a couple more. Sorry.
Where are you? Hold on. There's a couple. Oh no, sorry, no, you go ahead. Sorry, I messed up your flow. I see that you've added some bits that I was going to mention, but
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the other bit that I was just going to mention was, obviously you've got the Marvel stuff and now you've got the Star Wars news.
Yes,
So
yes,
this big whole universe, which is just expanding. And just before we started this podcast, I was just talking to Devaldo that, I've caught up on The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian is this brilliant show, and that's going to go off into different directions. But let's speak about the movie. So a movie called Rogue Squadron is going to be hitting the screens, and it's going to be directed by Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman. And this one's interesting because it's going to be based on a group of X-Wing pilots. And this is a group which was founded by Luke Skywalker. So they've given some information about it, but obviously we don't know the ins and outs and who's going to be part of that X-Wing group. And maybe people out there already know. But I think this is kind of like taking the whole Star Wars universe in another direction as well, Deval, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. And she actually mentioned Patty Jenkins. She mentioned that her dad actually was a fighter pilot. He actually died in the line of duty. And she mentioned that that inspired her to want to do something regarding fighter pilots and stuff. And I guess with Star Wars, that's obviously it's the next level. But yeah, that's something that she's really it's quite close to her heart. So I think it's going to be a good one. This is, but yeah, Star Wars. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the Star Wars stuff. I know you've got it on. We're going to mention a lot more about Star Wars, but I think yeah, because Star Wars, the movies, they let me down recently. Rogue
Yes.
One was the last one I really, really enjoyed,
Oh
and
man, yeah.
the recent ones let me down. So I'm hoping the TV shows, Mandalorian's doing great, and what they've got lined up, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So what kind of TV shows are they going to kind of be giving us?
Ooh, okay. So first of all, Mandalorian is still happening. Mandalorian is literally it's like it is holding up the Star Wars universe right now. Mandalorian alone. Yeah, let's just get that straight. It's gangster, wicked show, wicked show. But Ahsoka, who we saw in the Clone Wars animation. If you ain't seen Clone Wars animation or you've not seen Rebels animation, oh man, it's better than the movies right now. In the recent, no joke, it's really good. It links in the gap between the Clone Wars and then Revenge of the Sith. There's lots of episodes, like 20, 25 minutes each, but really, really worth it. Ahsoka came from that. She was a creation actually of Dave Filoni or David Filoni, who's a showrunner for the Mandalorian. She's going to have her own show. That's going to be confirmed. Rosario Dawson is coming back. To be well, she actually left the Jedi Order. She's kind of conflicted. She had beef with the Jedi Order because they
Yeah.
didn't, in the Clone Wars they show it. So she's a different character, but I really respect her and I like her a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait for that
Those
one.
doubles, man. The
Oh,
lightsabers, man. Oh.
gangster, gangster.
And it's going to be set. So the Ahsoka is going to be set in the same timeline as the Mandalorian, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, same sort of timeline. So that's about 5 years after Return of the Jedi. That's the timeline it's in. So that's when the universe is in turmoil. The Empire kind of fell, and the Republic are trying to get things back. But in certain pockets of the universe, there's still that juxtaposition of is it the Empire? Is it the rebels? I mean, the alliance. Sorry, like who's in power? So there's still a bit of a power struggle going on right now. So interesting times.
Yeah, and it was her introduction in the whole kind of Mandalorian. I thought that was a great introduction. It was just kind of, she's kind of like this mysterious character. She's out there in the kind of like the woods somewhere, and she's trying to get some information. So I think that whole storyline is going to kind of play out in her TV show when it comes around. It was where she's looking for information. She's on a mission. She's doing something right out there. What is she? I wonder what she's doing.
She's got unfinished business. I know she mentioned Grand Admiral Thrawn,
Thrawn,
who
yeah.
is a big character in the sort of Clone Wars animation and also the Star Wars comics as well. He's got blue skin, and he's played by the brother of Mads Mikkelsen, Lars Mikkelsen.
Ah,
In animation, he's the one that plays he does his voice. And you know what? He would do great as the physical manifestation of the character because he looks really, he was also in House of Cards. He played the president, the Russian president. He's really good. So Grand Admiral Thrawn, we heard his name mentioned. That's going to be a big thing in the future.
yeah. Brilliant. Okay, yeah. And what else are they giving us?
Rangers of the New Republic. I mean, set in the same time as Mandalorian. I mean, what's that?
What rangers? What are they doing? Are they out there to kind of like find people?
They're not Power Rangers for sure. I mean, these are.
But apparently, people are saying online that there's a character in the last episode of The Mandalorian. I know his real name is Bill Burr, but I've forgotten what his name is in the actual show where they break him out of prison and then he helps them on that little mission. The last episode of The
Oh,
Mandalorian.
yeah, he's like I can't remember his name actually now, but yeah, he's kind of like he's part of the Empire, wasn't he? And then obviously he's kind of like a redeemed character now. But are you thinking people like him might be Rangers?
Yeah, because there's talk of, and obviously Gina Carano, she's a ranger, isn't she?
Yeah, she kind of has a responsibility of she was part of the Republic and she had, I think she was a bit conflicted in some battles that happened or something like that. So she's kind of like she's not a fully sworn in member of the Republic. I think 2 episodes ago, one of the
Yeah.
Republic offered her like a badge and said, "Oh, come and join." She said, "Nah, she's cool doing what she's doing." So she's kind of like she's still got some autonomy. She's not fully having to answer to like a captain or anything like that. So I think those are the sort of people that could be Rangers and still trying to do good for the Republic, but also having a bit of a bad side, a bit like a Harrison Ford kind of character. He's kind of working for them, but
Yeah.
he's also doing his own spice runs on the side. So
Mm,
it
yeah.
could be like that.
And yeah, I mean, yeah. So kind of like some people are saying it could be Gina Carano's character, where she kind of like becomes a ranger, and so she could be part of that whole thing. But yeah, man, again, it could be brilliant. The Rangers. Again, it kind of feeds into that whole kind of Western vibe. Rangers in the Wild West, and they got to bring in the bad guys. So yeah, man, it all feeds in, and who knows? There could be one. They could have kind of like this shared little. Well, obviously it is a shared universe, but I mean, who knows if the three shows, Ahsoka, Rangers, and maybe Mandalorian, who knows if they all kind of like team up in one big thing? Like, that'd be great. I'd love to see that. All right, okay, what else have they got for us, Devaldo?
What's the Acolyte?
Acolyte, man. Now, this
Oh,
thing,
that's a name.
what a
The
name this is.
Acolyte.
Do you remember we watched this program on Netflix called Russian Doll?
Yeah. I remember that.
Oh yeah, it was quite good. It was this kind of like this time loop. This woman, she kind of like keeps reliving the same day, on and on. That was created by someone called Leslie Headland. She is going to be the person in charge of this new TV show for Disney Plus called The Acolyte. And
Oh, it's from the High Republic. It's from the like an old kind of time, I think,
that's it.
and it's about people that have sort of shadowy, dark side powers. So they're not
Ah,
obviously Jedi's, but they have some sort of force wielding ability. But yeah, I think there's some sort of shadow organization. They might, I think, maybe buck shoulders with people like what's his name, Darth Maul's group. What was his group called again? He had a group that he's part of, some sort of shadow group that are sort of gangsters behind the scenes, creating havoc and controlling things, controlling uh, like shipping lines and money and spice and stuff like that. So they may buck shoulders with organizations like that, but yeah, they are definitely sort of going towards the Sith side of things. They definitely, when it comes to the Force, they do they like the teachings of the Sith and the dark side.
ooh.
So yeah, that's going to be more of a darker type of Star Wars show, which will be interesting as well because we want to see all sides, isn't it?
Exactly, Mal, with the light, with the dark, and bring it all on.
Mhm.
All right, okay, so now next up, they are going to be bringing us Lando. The TV show is called Lando, and this is going to be based on the life of Lando Calrissian, and obviously played by Billy D. Williams in the original 3 movies, and then he returned for The Last Jedi. But then also, who is the younger version
Oh,
in
Donald
Solo?
Glover.
That's it, Donald Glover. So we don't know if it's going to be Donald Glover or it's going to be Billy D. Williams, but there is going to be this whole show about, obviously Lando Calrissian. And obviously he's got the swagger, he's got the style, he's got the looks, he's got all of those things, man. And it's probably going to be like a fun little thing, right? So most likely, I mean, if they can bring back in Donald Glover, I reckon he'll be pretty good. He was kind of good, right, as Calrissian?
It's better to go for the younger one than the older one. I think the older one, he's done his thing, and also he'd be quite old. I think to be,
Mm.
they should go with the older one. I was going to say actually, just to go back a little bit on the Acolyte, there's rumours that we may see or feel an appearance of Darth Vegas.
Oh,
The one that the Sith Lord was saying had the ability to bring people back from
back.
the dead. Yes, Darth. When he was talking to Anakin at
Yeah.
the opera.
Yes. Yeah, that
So,
creepy
we
Berlin
might
guy.
see Darth Plagueis.
That'd be great, man. If they start, teasing us with these characters, people are
Yeah,
gonna start loving it. With back to Lando, it's
yeah.
going to be developed by someone called Justin Simeon, and who's the creator of Dear White People. I actually haven't seen
Okay.
that, but loads of people mention that TV show and say
Yeah,
it's worth watching.
yeah. So it's a film and a TV show, but it's quite again a play on social commentary, social times, and a university campus, and there's like the student unions and stuff like that. how they interact with different races and where you're from and stuff. They'd have a radio show. It's interesting, but yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Should be good.
That should be good. Now, we've already spoken about Obi-Wan Kenobi. We knew that this was kind of in the works, and we knew that Ewan McGregor obviously was going to be reprising the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But this is going to be set 10 years after Star Wars Episode 3. Now, the big news here is that Hayden Christensen is going to return, and he is going to be playing Darth Vader. And do you remember in last week's episode, Devada, I said to you, will they bring Darth Vader back? Well, now we know they are going to bring Darth Vader back, and it's going to be played, and he's going to be played by Hayden Christensen.
Yep, he is back. He's back to take the high ground. So how's that going to work? I mean, I guess it's going to be. He would have been. Hold on, it's going to be 10 years after Episode 3. What's Episode 3? That Jedi.
No, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, sorry. After this, okay, yeah. So 10 years after. Oh, so he'll be Darth Vader then, is it? He'll be Darth Vader. He'll be like new in his role. So he'll
still angry,
nice and shiny, still angry. Yeah, so he'll be a full-on baddie. Actually, shit, yeah, a full-on baddie.
So damn, I mean, they're gonna. They've obviously got to have another showdown, right?
Yeah, I mean. They should do. I'm trying to think if it happened in Rebels. I think in Rebels, Ahsoka had a showdown with Darth Vader, but no, Obi-Wan wasn't there. But yeah, no, this is interesting stuff. Yeah, like I say, they're bringing people back. You know, people are getting contracts now. They're getting paid.
Exactly.
Been paid for a while.
They are getting paid. All right, okay. And finally, we've already spoken about The Mandalorian. If you haven't seen The Mandalorian, please do go check it out. It is seriously some brilliant piece of, filmmaking, basically, because each episode is beautifully crafted. It looks brilliant on the screen. But check this out. They've already announced that season 3 will premiere on Christmas Day. So they've already basically decided that, you know what, we are going to be bringing out a season 3. So we know that this is going to be season 3, and it's going to come out, it's going to premiere on Christmas Day. So, like, what are you doing Christmas Day a year from, like, next year?
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm watching Mandalorian season 3 because I know they're going to get deep into, what what's his name, Moff Gideon's Grogu, Moff Gideon, maybe Grand Admiral Thrawn might be involved.
Yeah,
I am on it.
We are on it. Devaldo, I mean, come on, man. If that's not huge movie news and Star Wars news and Marvel news, I don't know what is, man. I don't know what else people could want from this.
I was an investor because this was all given, or this is all detailed during Disney's Investor Day.
You'd be creaming your pants.
Exactly. I'd be opening my checkbook saying, "How much more money do you need?"
Exactly.
Let's make this happen.
And it's so funny. They did slip in actually that the price of Disney Plus is, it's going up by $1. It's going up. It is only $1.
What you're getting, you know what? That's actually worth it. As long as they can fill it with content. I ain't paying for it anyway, but as long as you can fill it with content, it's worth it.
Seriously, man. It's just $1. I know it, but remember, they've already got like about 90 million people, and that $1 adds up, man. So believe you me, but over the next 3 or 4 years, I'm sure they're going to add on an extra $1 here and there as well. So, but it's good. Like you said, it's good. All right, okay. Now let's finish off with film news on a sad note, and unfortunately, a British institution, Barbara Windsor. Man, I used to watch the Carry On movies, and man, you know what? Do you know those Carry On movies? They were raunchy, they were spicy, they were kind of like, the sexual innuendos, they were like non-stop. And yeah, man, Barbara Windsor was in this. She'd always, like, obviously there was, they cast her in those Carry On movies for, because of a certain reason. And then she turned up in EastEnders, right, Deval?
Yeah, get out my pub, yeah.
Yeah, so she passed away.
31 Carry On films, you know that? 31.
Wow, 31. And how long was she in EastEnders for?
Oh, a good few years. I don't know how many, but yeah, good few years, maybe 10, 15, something like that.
Wow, God, that is a long time. And she and just to remind me again, Ethel's still in EastEnders, right?
No, she died. Oh my God.
I always said it. What about Arthur? Is he still in it?
Oh man. Phil's there and Ian's there
Oh,
and Sharon.
flipping hell. Those guys, man, they're like part of the furniture. Seriously. Yeah, so Barbara Windsor, she passed away. And also, is it Tiny Tom Lister?
Yeah, Debo from Friday, and he was also in wrestling, wasn't he? Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. He's quite young when he died, actually. 62. Quite young.
That's nothing. So yeah, man. So so rest in peace, Tom Lister Jr. and Barbara Windsor. So that ends movie news, Deval.
Yep, we got. Don't know what we're gonna do for the rest because we're running out of tiempo. Let's
Oh my gosh,
let's fly.
Devaldo, that was
Let's
that.
fly.
Are you
What's that?
kidding me?
What?
That's 1 hour. Oh my gosh.
Maybe 1 hour, right? I know.
All right. Whew. So listen, the film news is pretty long. So what we've done is we've kind of given you a bit of a slightly different show this week. We've gone straight to our film review. And then we're going to speak about a hidden gem that we want to kind of like, mention. So this is just going to be kind of like a brief one for you, but it's brief, but it's definitely a recommended movie on my part. So this is Sound of Metal. I want to quickly just mention this movie, Sound of Metal. We actually spoke about this maybe a week ago or a couple of weeks ago. We said that there's this new movie out on Amazon Prime, stars Riz Ahmed. He's a British actor, and Riz Ahmed, he was in Rogue. He was in Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One. Mm-hmm.
He's been in quite a few.
Venom.
Yes, Venom. He played the villain there, and so he plays a character called Ruben, who's this drummer in a heavy metal band. And the movie starts off, man, with this kind of like powerful him banging on the drums and bashing them away and everything. And he's got this kind of really kind of like interesting look with blonde hair and everything. And then literally within the first 5 or 10 minutes, we realize and he realizes that he's losing his hearing. And man, when I watched this movie, Devaldo, I was just like, holy shit, man, how excruciating, would it be just to kind of, and painful initially and emotionally kind of like affecting you, the fact that you lose one of your senses. And this movie is about his journey through that painful, discovery of him losing his hearing and him, having to leave behind this life of a musician and, being a drummer in this band and the relationship that he's got. And obviously there's this turmoil, it goes up and he's kind of like emotional and he's kind of like really, really, music is a part of his life. And, when you're a drummer and you can't hear, your music, what are you supposed to do? So, really great performance. Sorry, Deval?
No, I was just saying that's difficult. That's like, like a footballer with no legs almost. It's just like, it's really difficult. I know some people say you can still do something, but for someone that uses that sense, for at such a high level, it must be such an earth-shattering thing to happen. So I've not seen this film yet. I'm going to see it. I know that you enjoyed it, and it sounds like it was quite touching as well. So
you know what? Really, really touching piece. And one thing, right? With Riz Ahmed, I know he's done some great stuff. I think, he's going to have... I think we're going to see more of him because he's a really versatile character. And, versatile actor. He can do kind of something like, obviously, Rogue One. He can do, Four Lions, a comedy drama like Four Lions where he plays this terrorist, and then he can do something like The Night Of, that HBO program.
That's really good. Yeah. That was really good. I like that.
Yeah. Really so, and he can turn up in these kind of movies. This movie, this Sound of Metal, is it's rated, it's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.8 on IMDb, and directed by someone called Darius Marder, and obviously, like I said, it stars Riz Ahmed, Olivia Cook. I just think, man, it's a really, really good, interesting, sad, but also there's this kind of like uplifting moment that happens throughout it as well, where he finds there's a bit in this movie where another character, another deaf character says to him, hey, look, Ruben, I know you're going through this pain and I know you're going through this suffering, but you have to find stillness. You have to do the thing that finds you stillness. And his journey throughout the movie is trying to reach that stillness, and it happens in a kind of in a really nice kind of way, and he comes full circle in some regards. definitely worth watching. It's on Amazon Prime, and if you do watch it, let us know what you think, because obviously, this is a disability that affects like many people around the world, and how you deal with it is basically a show of your character as well. And like in this movie, Riz Ahmed, he kind of portrays that really well. So yeah, Sound of Metal, go check it out. Devaldo, we've got time for one more, right?
Yes, this one here is a really, guys out there, if you really like action movies, if you're like from the 80s and you remember all the 80s and 90s action movies, this one here is a must watch. And if you tell us what your favorite action movie is from the 80s and 90s, we will send you a Rakuten movie code so you can watch this on Rakuten. It's called In Search of the Last Action Heroes. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I could have watched it again, back to back.
Yes, I
It's a
know.
documentary that talks about all the action heroes of the 80s and 90s, from Sylvester Stallone to obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Bruce
to,
Willis.
of course, Bruce Willis, Kurt Russell. You got Cynthia
Oh
Rothrock, yeah,
man,
man,
Above the Law,
karates. Oh my gosh,
China O'Brien, all those
oh
movies, man. One thing, right? What I was just really interested, what I loved about this documentary was, it's 2 hours. You know what? You're getting this bang for your money, right? So
oh
listen, when you watch this movie,
gosh.
it's not just kind of over in an hour and 20 minutes and you think, oh, that was really interesting. This man goes into detail. You speak about, there's people like Shane Black, there's the writers of Die
Yeah,
Hard, there's
yeah,
all these producers, these writers, these directors, they're all speaking about the influence of those 80s action icons, just like Deval mentioned, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, all those people, the martial art movies, the ninja movies, Chuck Norris, all those kind of movies that you remember when you were kids, and even just the toys and things like that, right? I tell you what, it was brilliant, man, just to go back and, a trip down memory lane, all those movies. And you know what? It made me want to go back and watch like Rambo.
oh
It made
man,
me want to go back and watch Rambo 3 again, and like kind of Raw Deal and all these, all those Arnold movies. And just to kind of capture what it was like watching those movies for the first time. That's what I wanted to go away and do. And that's what I'm going to
yeah,
do. I'm going to watch one of those
yeah,
movies.
yeah. I need to watch some more Cynthia Rothrock. But with this documentary, what you're going to get, like you said, from the horse's mouth, the writers, directors, producers, even editors of all the films that you've loved, from Die Hard to Predator. You had Paul Verhoeven talking about
Yes.
RoboCop and why he made it, and what, and the Total Recall. You got gangsters that don't often get to do the big Hollywood blockbusters, like Scott Adkins, who's from
Yeah.
the
British.
UK. He's a martial artist. He knows how to act and to fight. You've got Michael Jai White, who is like, I don't know how old this guy is, but he doesn't age.
Keeps looking younger.
And he's been in, like, he was in Spawn, Black Dynamite. He was in Dark Knight. Enough of this foolery, he's been in Arrow.
Dragged
He is
across
a
concrete.
Dragged Across Concrete, which we saw a couple of weeks ago. He is a true actor of immense proportion, that he can fight as well. They do all their own stunts, these guys. But yeah, it is crazy. This documentary, Steven Seagal was in it. You had Eric Roberts, who was talking
Best of
about
the
some stuff.
best.
Oh my gosh, you had everyone. Everyone was in this. Everyone, even the guy that was
Al
always a
Young.
baddie. Yes. with the long hair and the
With the
moustache.
long hair. This guy, man, he's been in the movie since day one. Like, from Lethal
Oh my
Weapon, from Big Trouble in Little
gosh.
China. He was in Die Hard. Oh
Oh
my gosh,
gosh.
man. Al
Big Trouble.
Young,
Do you know what? They
Rapid
didn't mention
Fire.
Big Trouble in Little China. I was really shocked about that. Maybe
Yes,
they couldn't get the rights to it. I was really shocked
possibly.
they didn't mention that, actually. Really shocked.
Oh man, so yeah, listen, if you have this love of movies and you have love of obviously the 80s movies, this documentary is right up your alley. You're gonna love it. And if you do watch it, please do let us know what you thought about it. And drop us a line on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. We'd appreciate it.
Defo. And you can get that on Rakuten. So guys, don't waste your time. You need to do this quick. But yeah, that's really, really, really good show. I hope you got all the Marvel news there. Let us know what are you most looking forward to in Marvel as well. And I'm looking forward to the Loki one. I'm not sure if we really spoke about
Oh
it in detail, but the
shit,
Loki trailer
Loki.
looks wicked. Loki for president. Loki's going to be causing all kinds of mischief. He's
I
the god
know.
of mischief. That show is going to be probably one of my favorites.
TVA. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
That is just brilliant. I mean, that whole setup, man. Okay, we'll speak about that on next week's show. Plus, we'll speak about the other trailers that we didn't get a chance to speak about. So listen, that's all I've got time for. And Devaldo, it's great speaking to you about all this stuff. And we'll catch up again next week.
Defo. Peace out, guys.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.